Let's check it out. And here we go. First, I'm going to make sure I got two little green lights here and one little green light on the adapter sticking out of my phone. Last video, my mic didn't work, and my friend Stefan's did. And the video is recording. So, well, we learned something new. And let's get started with these shims and get this figured out and get that straightened out. Book says you need end play for that top shaft 4 to 6 thousandths, and with the shims that were in it already, we had 7 thousandths. So I did end up taking all the shims off, and I ended up with 4 shims. And we'll go over them real quick. I'm gonna just tell you what they are. Zero out this thing. Okay, we had 4 really thick ones. And let's see. That says 18.5, but I'm not sure. All right, let me double check that. 19. It's a weird number, but that's what it works for John Deere, so that's what's going to have to work for us. 19. All right. We got 2 at 19, and then we have 2 more. We have not 11.5. Not right. 10.5. I think these are 10. 0. That still says 0.5. 0. 0. All right, there we go. 0. Not 11.5. I know that. What am I doing wrong? 10. I know they're 10. 10. All right. We're going to take one of the 10s out. We're going to put the rest back on. Remember, we had 7. A little bit too much. Okay, so we took out 110. We have here parts number R25233. There you go. These are 6 thousandths. I could only get either 10,000 or 6 thousandths. So we got 2 6s. That's going to give me 12 thousandths. So 7 was too much, and this is 2 thousandths more. So hopefully it ends up right at 5 thousandths. So we're putting on 2 6s, and we're going to go check that again. All right. So it's all ready to be going on. Looks good. None of them was bent up. Turn this off for now. We don't need that. Put that up here. Let's go put it in the tractor. Everything's ready to go in. It only goes one way. This goes over here. Nope. This little bump right here covers the shaft. It holds that in. So we're going to place it in there. Hold the top shaft up a little bit. Get that started. I'll tap it in with a little board or something. Where's my little board? I know I have one around here. Something. There we go. Something really small to make sure it goes in straight. And yep, there we go. Okay, you gotta hold this shaft up. Come on up out of there. Try to stick your hand in and hold that up. It's going a little at a time. Keep those lined up. Maybe might need to put a bolt in one of the holes to keep the shims lined up. Don't put that in there. Okay, let's see. Need to make sure all the shims are lined up and the holes are lined up. Hey, it's going in. There we go. There's one. Don't need the block of wood anymore. We're going to snug that up and check clearance. Need some paper towels or something. Pretty oily. Here we go. Okay, they are 9/16. Snug those up. We'll have to retorque them with the torque wrench once we're finished, but we just want to get it, make sure it's good all the way. Now, got that in. Let's get our dial indicator up there. Check that end shaft. Put it right on that end shaft. There we go. Okay. Make sure it's on good, right on that little right spot. Okay, let's see. It's hitting. Gotta turn it a little bit. Can't be touching anything. Now we got the dial indicator moving right. Can't be touching the housing. Get off that housing. So, turn that. Here we go. Make sure everything is tight. Turn my zero around. Let me get it set up. That ain't working. All right, now it's all set up, finally. Had to get it just right so it doesn't touch anything and it's not gonna move. And I have the needle on 0, and we're gonna make sure it's all the way back, staying on 0. I'm gonna come back here and we're gonna push it forward. It looks like it's between 5 and 6 thousandths, which is good. Yes. All right. Let me see if I can get the camera over here and we'll take a look at it. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get you over there. Let y'all take a look at it. Might be a little jerky for a second, and we'll get it over there. Okay, we're on 0. Right here, it's all the way forward. Come right here. See right here, and we're gonna push it the other way. Between 5 and 6. Gonna move it back to 0. I'm gonna move it back again. I think we good. All right, so we all finished with that. And see what we're gonna do next. I'll explain that in just a second. Let me get this off and show you what we gotta do to undo what we did yesterday.
Cut my head the other day.
Where you cut your head? How you did that?
In the camper, going under the bed.
What you were doing under there?
The cabinets are right here. No, the cabinets are right here, and they got that one board going down about that wide. Dude, I went with my hat on.
Hey, where your name is?
What?
What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm from Cat Head, Louisiana.
Cat Head. I never heard of that. Where is that? Where
It's
is
about
that?
that far from a cat's ass.
Oh my God.
Where are you from?
I'm from
All right, so
right here. And Stefan is the only one working.
Stefan's from the alignment school.
Yeah. You getting them in?
yes, sir.
He's putting all the bolts back in. We got her back together. It's looking good now. Looking like a
real John Deere.
green machine.
Jackson would be proud of us.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow we'll be able to run it.
Well, I think I'm gonna head to the house.
Huh? Somebody left their hat over here.
That's me.
That's you.
That was to level it off.
Y'all did such a fantastic job. I want to know what the name of this crew is.
Well, what do you think?
What do you call them? What?
Woodlawn Woodcocks.
The what?
Woodlawn Woodchuck Mechanic Group. Woodlawn Woodchucks.
The Woodlawn. How do you say that, Stefan?
Woodlawn Woodcock.
Woodcocks.
Woodlawn Woodcocks.
The Woodlawn Woodcocks John Deere Group.
We're on Woodlawn Road, and we're at the Woodlawn Coulee Campers Campground. That's what we call it. And we're the Woodchucks at the Woodlawn Coulee Campground. Bunch of good guys. Thank y'all so much for the help. Appreciate that.
Quite welcome. Lunch was great.
How much I owe y'all?
Yeah, that lunch was.
No, your labor was expensive today. It was $50.
For lunch, we had a good lunch at some country store.
After hours.
That was good. All right, we're signing out for today. Tomorrow we're gonna hopefully finalize everything. Maybe I can start it maybe. Well, it's a new day, and yesterday was a long day. We did end up getting a lot done. Today it's cold and windy. We got a small fire going back here in the shop. There we go. Hopefully that'll help warm it up. The wind's supposed to be 35 miles an hour today, maybe close to 40, I don't know. But the John Deere's come along good. We got it back together. It was, portion of it was rough. First we had to load the fenders up, get them lifted up and back on top of the tractor. And we had to do that before we could put the two halves together. Because once it's together, there's no way I could lift it up high enough to get it up over the hood or over the wheel tires. It was pretty heavy. It took 3 of us to get it up there. After that, we started connecting things, linkages on then we put the seat back in it. And then after that, we started stabbing it. And it actually took us 3 hours to stab the two halves back together. And it was a process. And the guys that helped me yesterday, Stefan and Clay, we work well together. We would come up with an idea what we needed to do. We would talk about it for a few seconds, and then we would say, okay, let's try Clay's way. And we try that, and then we talk about it some more and say, well, we need to move the front end. Stefan says it's not lined up, so we'd put a jack under the front end and move the front end over and try that. And we kept manipulating the jacks underneath the back and forth with the tape measure. We got it to go in. We had about this much left to go, and it wouldn't go, and we would wiggled it, measured it, said something ain't right. We didn't want to force it. It has to go on its own. It has to be perfectly lined up. And then Stefan got up underneath it with a flashlight, looked up inside, kept doing that and said, this shaft coming out the transmission is not lining up. And we figured out that the front end right here needed to come over this way. So we put a floor jack underneath here with a 4x4 jacking it up. And good thing we had Stefan's floor jack. And we moved it over about this much, the front end. And as soon as I let it down, Stefan said, hey, it's free, it's moving in. I said, start cranking on the ratchet and don't stop. And he did, and he started ratcheting, and it came all the way in together, and it was like, hoorah, hooray. We was really happy, and that's the thing. You have to keep going around it with a tape measure. All 4 sides have to be exact within a 1/16 of an inch. It have to be at the perfect angle. It has to be exactly like it came apart. It will not go. That front shaft has to go all the way through up into the front section. Then the top shaft of the transmission has to line up with the shaft and the coming out of the bell housing. And once you get that done, it just falls together. So we got all the bolts in. Right now I'm gonna start retorquing. I want to retorque all the bolts. You can't put a torque wrench on these bolts. So the only ones I can get a torque wrench on is ones up in the transmission. But I want to show you these bolts. You know, you back down here, you know, some of them, there's no room to put a torque wrench. So it's an inch and a quarter or inch and an eighth inch bolts. And I'm gonna put one on there with an extension, and I'm gonna put my 300 foot-pounds of torque on them. I'm gonna make sure they're all tight. Oh, and okay, this is the kicker. When we almost finish, Stefan says, hey, I was laying under the tractor. Hey, I got 3 extra bolts here. Where'd they go? He held one up like this. Got 3 of these. Where'd they go? I started looking around. I was tightening one up underneath, and I go, hey, I got a hole right here. I can put one in here. So I put that one in, and we started looking. I said, oh, look, I got another one on this side. So I found 2 empty holes underneath, and I got those 2 bolts in. We had this one frickin' bolt. Where does it go? I started looking. Clay started looking. Stefan started looking. We scratched our heads. We went, sit down. We got up. We went looking again. We looked all the way around the transmission, nothing. I said, okay, let's back up. Let's go to the engine house and bell housing and look there. We looked all the way around. Hey, them bolts are different sizes. That's not going to work there. Where this bolt comes from, we don't know. So anyway, we started scratching our heads again. This went on for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Where does this frickin' bolt go? And then it hit me. Guys, I know where it goes. I know what's the problem. Where does that bolt go? What do you mean? Where does it go? Where does that bolt go? All right, let me show you what I found out. Where this bolt goes. This is where the bolt goes. Come over here. There's a trash can. It was in there. Isn't that what you do with it when you get extra bolts? You throw them in the trash and you hide them. Well, I'll tell you why I did that. If you look over here down in the transmission, we got bolts here and here, right over here, right there. And then we got this big ass long gold bolt, which is a 6-inch bolt. That is a new bolt that replaces the short one that holds this shaft and holds the high-low shifter down. That's where the bolt went. Man, got that done. Bunch of Cajun boys working on a tractor trying to figure it out, scratching their heads. Anyway, it's warming up in here. I'm gonna get to work, start hooking all this stuff. I want to see this sucker run. I can't wait. Getting excited. Here we go. I'm gonna start hooking up. Okay, I heard it. It's recording. Okay, here we go. First start up. Here he goes. right, we're gonna try one more time. We got all. Clear prop. They all work. Woo! It worked. It's a success.
Thank you,
Man.
What, it's still running?
Thanks. Yeah, still running.
I'm fixing my.
We did it. We got it going. All I gotta do is put out the finishing touches. All the gears work, all the hydraulics work. Looks like we don't have any leaks. And just gonna finish buttoning it up later on. Clear prop. Tractor ran beautiful. Started right up. And we ended up putting 15 gallons of oil in it. High guard from John Deere. And it's still about maybe a gallon or two low. So we'll have to chop that off later. But no oil leaks. Everything worked fine. The hydraulics, all the hydraulics works. The 3-point worked great. The brakes work good. The steering works good. And the clutch works good. And the transmission shifts really well. I'll check it out, make sure, see if I don't need to do any fine-tune adjustments on the linkage or not, but it seemed to be good. And I'm very pleased with it. And I'm happy to finish this project. And I'll send some videos of previous when I was bush hogging, plowing, doing dirt work with it. It's a good old tractor, and it's gonna last for many, many more years. This is Albert from the Woodlawn Coulee Campers Woodchucks signing out. Woohoo!